mean, we've been here before, haven't we? And I think that's a somewhat easy thing to say when it comes to a Tyson Fury retirement, because we're not quite certain as to what direction it will go. We feel that maybe as boxing fans, having heard it before, that Fury might be at the ring for a considerable amount of time, but that won't be years. We're talking months here, and that's kind of the usual amount of time that any boxer might see themselves outside the ring before their next fight. The talk has now shifted from Usyk and undisputed and title contention to the anti-Joshua fight, which we've been waiting for many a year. And is the feeling here from some that this is just a bit of a ploy here to get us an extra few millions out the coffers for whoever is putting on the fight? That will be most likely Turkey al-Sheikh here, to get this fight over the line. And that's what it takes to get the most out of it. As you want to call it a cash out, you want to call it the fight that we wanted for many years, whatever you want to call it. But Fury might be putting a bit of a pressure out there to get the offer that he wants. That might be the case, or it might be the case that Tyson Fury is actually hanging up the gloves. I had a conversation with a source that will remain unnamed, and when it came to asking them about Fury and Joshua and whether that was likely, they said that, look, we know that one side of the equation does want the fight, but the other, we feel that is more likely going to retire. And lo and behold, a few days later, these statements come out. I think with a retirement, usually what happens is, and I'll use Amir Khan as an example, when he retired, he kind of got, albeit via Zoom, he got everyone from media over on Zoom to ask him a couple of questions, and he thanked everyone on the media for their support and thanked them for covering him as a fighter, and did some sort of thing like that. Tyson, you'd expect if he retired there to be a big press conference, there'd be a big hubbub about him, even though maybe he probably wouldn't want it and he'd want to sail off into the sunset. I think that would probably happen for Tyson, and because that hasn't happened, because those things aren't in motion, like the first or the last time round, he wasn't taken out of any rankings or anything like that, and the people just let the dust settle and saw what happened in the following weeks and months, and he did return to the sport. I expect the same sort of thing to happen here. And right now, unfortunately, I can't take it on face value. I can't wish Tyson Fury all the best in his future endeavors, as a WB saying would be, but all the best in his non-boxing career, because I think there's unfinished business, and I think he knows it. I think boxing fans know it.
Reasons why we shouldn't take Fury at his word on this. One is that at the very end of the very brief statement he put out on social media, he made the comment, what was it? I'll leave you with, even Dick Turpin wore a mask, alluding to the fact that he still believes he was robbed in either the latest or both fights with Alexander Usyk. An opinion not shared by many around the sport, even though closest to Fury, while they may believe he did enough in the second fight to win, don't believe it was such a heinous decision or miscarriage of justice to call it a robbery or make allusions to, not very subtle allusions, to a famous highwayman of the past. Not only that, this is, as many people have pointed out, not the first time Fury has quote-unquote retired. Sometimes they've lasted a long time, sometimes less. So there's an element of the boy who cried wolf about it as well. And I think the third thing is that this coming hot on the heels, 2 days after his big rival, someone he believes got the better of him when he shouldn't have, Alexander Usyk, took the Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year award. Everyone praising Usyk, talking about his next move, as we will be shortly, and we were going to open the show with before Tyson made his announcement. So he's kind of got what he wanted from SO Live, at least, if not from the wider boxing world. We'll wait and see what impact that has. But taking some of the attention away from him, Fury was probably the most famous boxer currently who wasn't at the Ring Awards on Saturday night as well. Anthony Joshua was there, Canelo was there, Usyk was there. Even fighters that are on the big card in 9 days time. Sorry, not 9 days time, 5 weeks time. In February were there. They broke training camp presumably, or took an evening away. Daniel Dubois, for example, was there. Hamza Shiraz and some of the other people from that big card were all there. And Fury was notable by his absence. That would have been an intentional move also. He knows it will get people talking. They'll be wondering, why wasn't Fury there? What's he going to do? What's happening with Fury and Joshua? Because Joshua was there. You know, Turki Al-Sheikh has made it clear he wants to make Fury and Joshua this year. And then Fury doesn't turn up, even though he's previously been apparently very close to Turki Al-Sheikh and Riyadh season. And then 2 days after that, he announces his latest retirement in one of the shortest farewell speeches I've seen. It just doesn't add up for me. I mean, in a way it does. It adds up to a fake retirement. And as Eamon said, I think it is partly to increase his value. You know, the public will miss him more. He'll be able to command more money to, you know, quote unquote, come out of retirement to fight Joshua. But not only that, I think the attention is then diverted from his biggest rivals and back to the Gypsy King, which is probably just how he likes it. We'll go to the chat shortly, but Josh Hart, were you at all surprised by the statement? I know you didn't immediately understand the Dick Turpin reference.
I can't say I'm overly shocked by it, but I was more expecting just to see Tyson keep a bit more quietness around his name and not come out with any statements until we see something like an Anthony Joshua fight. Obviously, we saw in the post-fight press conference after the second Usyk fight, he mentioned that he might fight again, he might not. But if this is it, then I'm in full agreement that it is probably the shortest farewell speech we've ever seen. And the reel that he put on Instagram was about 20 seconds long, maybe just a little bit over. But no, I think it is more just a ploy to make a bit more money, increase his value. I don't fully agree with the fact of making the fans miss him because he's done this before. And when you do something so many times, we are going to lose our interest. And at this time round, you know, when you go onto the comments of the post, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, we'll see you at the Anthony Joshua fight." That's one way to get yourself a better deal. So I don't know what to believe, really. That's it. I guess we've just got to wait and see what happens. If he gets removed from the rankings, maybe then we might see something change. But right now, I don't believe we're going to see Tyson Fury retire. I think there's unfinished business, as mentioned previously. I think this Anthony Joshua fight is something that has to happen before either of them can retire in any form of, I guess, say, having completed it all.
And before we go to the chat, Josh, am I right in thinking you didn't immediately grasp the Dick Turpin reference because you weren't alive when
Nope, I was not. I was not alive. I wasn't born. I had no involvement. I actually had no clue until you showed me Raheem's thing that we put in the video that's out now.
It's because Raheem and I are a different generation. We were alive. we were robbed by Dick Turpin.
Yeah, see, I was robbed of the knowledge of Dick Turpin. So
you were.
We've
made your
it.
Parents, they waited too long.
We're there eventually. We've made it eventually. You know, you learn something new every day, and that's what I've learned today. So, can sleep peacefully tonight knowing I've learned something new.
Your peaceful sleep is all we aim for here on SO Live, Joshua Hart. Let's go to the chat. Ali Poshpaza. God knows if I've said that right. Probably not. Usyk deserves the award. He's a very serious sportsman and a good man. Maybe he should face Joseph Parker or Ruiz. We will have a poll on Usyk's next move when we get to the Usyk section, which, as we said, has been bumped slightly because of Tyson Fury. I'm sure he'll love that. Maybe Tyson should face Ruiz or Joshua or Zhang. The next person, it's in Cyrillic alphabet, so I cannot read it, unfortunately. He is very Phil. I can read that bit. Ali goes on, or perhaps Tyson should face Martin Bakole, and agrees that Usyk is very Phil. B Sod says, how many times has he said this now, referring to Fury's latest retirement? Nat says, I think this is the 4th time. I'm sure it's more than that. Cuss's System, good to see you, Dennis. You did promise you would tune in, and you're as good as your word. Says, Tyson Fury only has the Joshua fight as an option. If he's got no heart for it anymore, then he should retire. However, AJ's resume is currently better than Fury's. Maybe that's why Fury did not attend the Ring Magazine event. Interesting. B Sod says, Fury is a very jealous dude. Gertrude, that was my grandmother's name. It's not her. She's been dead for a long time. Unless a medium's also on the line. It says, a true low-life sport. Wow. Thanks for joining SO Live just to throw shade at boxing. I'm not sure that's quite what we're looking for. B-Sod says, I just want to see more Zhang before it's too late for him. Zambanu Love, welcome back. He says, wonder if this is another shadow ban and we'll hear he popped for the Usyk loss after the fact. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, we'll wait and see, but there's been nothing of that nature even surrounding Fury since the, in the build-up to the aborted Klitschko rematch. Thunder Road says, this is a trio. Well spotted, Thunder Road. No flies on you, like Junior Soprano. Says, grey hair dad guy. I think it's just grey dad guy. We can abbreviate it. Grey dad guy, emo guy. That's Eamon, apparently. And the Adderall supply guy at your local uni. That's yet another nickname for Josh Hart. Hit the thumbs up, chat. Yes, please do. We are the most interactive show on boxing YouTube. I got too excited by my intro and I forgot to say, please do give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber and get your comments and questions in. Martin Mulligan says, big up Seconds Out. Loving the boxing chat. Big up yourself, Martin Mulligan. Daryl Elliott says, Tyson is just pumping up the interest in the AJ fight as it's not as big as it was and needs a bit of fluffing up to get the money. Big Boy Garms says, anyone who knows fighters knew Fury was done. No way would Fury fight in a loser's final fight with AJ, especially after losing to a jacked-up cruiser. Fury has two options, retire or Usyk 3. I don't think Usyk 3 is on the table at all, Big Boy Garms. I don't think there's any appetite for that from anyone, really, after the first two fights. Mucky says Fury is just ruining his legacy. Hakan Johansson of Hakan's Ringside Live fame says, I think the Fury retirement is the truth from Fury. Mark Hatch says, RIP Fury. It's a bit of a shame. I don't think he's actually died. Michael Ward says, Tyson will be missed because personality-wise, he outdoes the rest by a landslide. Took me a minute. Christopher Saavedra says, Fury is either trying to bargain for more money or ducking AJ because he could be KO'd by power punchers. And Hakan goes on, if Fury retires, what's next for Anthony Joshua? Maybe we'll discuss that in a moment.